Hello my crafty friends, it's Crystal with Happy to Plan. I am going to be doing a junk drilling video today. This is going to be the first of 5 videos that I'm going to load this week. I'm going to load a junk drilling video every day this week. And what I'm basically trying to do with doing this is complete 5 different junk journals. So if you don't know, I'm a design team member of Cheaply Chic, and I will leave all her links down below. Lynette is a sweet friend of mine, and I love her collections, and she gifts them to me every month as part of being on her design team. And basically, I have 5 of them that I haven't really been doing work on, and I want to finish. So I truly want to try to finish it before her February collection comes out so that I have them all completed and ready to go. So that's kind of why I'm doing this, so that I can get it done. So basically what I want to do today is I want to work on the library pockets. So she typically includes some sort of library type pocket that you can put in the front of your journal. Well, really you can put it anywhere you want, but I generally put it in the front. So I'm going to be working on those today for all 5 of them. And I just want to let you know that I was pretty inspired by some of the videos that she's put out lately, where she's done some altered um, glassing bags and some playing cards, and I just got inspired by that, and I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I can kind of just work on one thing for all 5 of them and get all 5 of them done, and kind of and really kind of just use the same kind of pattern, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, or same kind of design for each of them, so that I'm not coming up with 5 different designs. I'm just kind of using the same basic design and just using different elements of that design to match what it is that I'm working in. So this is the Homegrown Collection, and what I've decided to do with this Homegrown Collection or journal is I'm going to do a 20 of 20. So basically what that means is I'm going to document 20 things that have happened in my home in 2020. So whether that's family coming over, having dinner parties, game nights, Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, whatever. I don't know what's going to happen in 2020. So whatever that is, I'm going to pick 20 of those things, and I'm going to document those. And so it's really just going to be about my home and things in my home. So I'm really excited for this one because I actually have a plan for it. The other ones, I don't really have a plan. I mean, my Get Closey collection, I'm going to be doing my devotionals in there for January. So I document my devotionals in most of these journals. But since the other journals, I didn't do my devotionals those particular months. I don't really have a plan specifically for those. So I'm probably going to do, for the Grace one, I'm probably going to do my devotionals for February in that one. And then in the February collection that she hasn't released yet, I'll probably do my March devotionals. So that's why I kind of want to get caught up, so that starting in February, I can start really, documenting and being on top of it. So now that I've gone through that long intro, let's go ahead and talk about what I'm doing. So basically what I did was, there was this little card, and that little card that's in there with the flowers, and it's like a little address card. I decided to include that in the journal instead of the library pocket that's typically in there, like the list thing that's typically in the library pocket, because I already have a place where I'm going to list the 20 different things. So I'll pop up a picture of what that looks like here, so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I have that already in the journal. It's one of the things I've already done. So I decided to make this just like a little address pocket. And that little card came from a different collection. I actually think it came from her Grace collection, the one that she just released. I'm fairly certain that that's where it came from. But I might be wrong. It might be a different one. But anyway, it came from a different collection. I was like, oh, I'm going to use this one in the home collection. So I just, moved it over to this one. Basically what I did was I just put a piece of tea-dyed muslin down and a little piece of lace. And then I had that one sticker there that's from my stash, and it says, I think it says like home is where the story begins or something like that. And I glued that down, and then when I glued it down, it kind of left a little bit of a glue leakage in the fabric. So I just added these little crochet little heart things that I had in my stash. I just added a couple of those just to kind of cover it up. And I think it was a very happy accident because I think it looks really cute. And I love that it matches the little white flowers in the card sitting there in the little pocket. So that is what that one's going to look like. So again, I'm going to try to kind of keep the elements the same basic design, but then use elements either from the collection or from my stash that go with the theme of the collection is really what I'm going to be doing. So again, so there's the pocket there sitting on the journal that typically comes with the journaling collections. Like generally she gives us those, not always, but typically. So the one that I used for the homegrown was just something from my stash. All right, so what I thought would be cute is to use that little journaling card that looked like a little patch that said so on and so forth. I just think that's really cute. Each of them kind of have like a little phrase that kind of says what the journal is about, or the journal theme is. So I decided I have this little piece of fabric. It's actually adhesive on the back. I'm really certain that it's from Tim Holtz, and I basically just cut it to the size of the pocket, and then I went ahead and just put it on the pocket. I kind of thought it would look like a denim jean pocket. It's kind of what the thing I was going for. I don't think that's ultimately what it ended up looking like, but I liked it. I think it looks cute. I think the blue really accents well with the little patch that I'm going to put on there. It's not really a patch, it's a piece of paper, but you know what I mean. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little piece to cover up the top part and just get that adhered on. Whew, that was a lot of talking in a I was like talking for 7 minutes straight. So I apologize for that. I'm glad I gave you a little break from hearing me. But anyway, so then I'm going to go ahead and I cut around it with the plastic on the back just so my scissors wouldn't be all sticky, because that adhesive fabric stuff is pretty sticky on the back. And then, yeah, so that's basically what I did. And then I realized that I kind of messed up a little bit because the pocket, where there was a little bit of the white of the pocket showing, and I didn't really like that. So I was like, well, I could put the patch over a little bit so that it covers it, but then it's too far over. So then I was like, well, what can I do to cover it up that it's too far over? And then I just decided to put this little piece of lace that happened to be on my desk from the other project. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. It totally matched. And I think it actually made it look really cute. So now this stuff, for some reason, when I put the fabric tack on there, it like soaked into the fabric. So even though it did end up working, I did put some glue on the actual piece of paper because it felt like it was soaking into the fabric before I could even glue it on there. All right, so now I'm just going to trim the bottom of that. And then put that in the book. And then typically what I do, like when I use these for my devotionals, when I use these for my devotionals, what I do is each day of the week, I just put, or each date of the month, I just put like the scripture verse or maybe like a phrase that stood out to me in my devotional. So that's what I'll do for this one. So this is the Cozy Collection, and I've already included that one in the book. So instead of me trying to get the measurements from the one that was in the book, I just used another one that was sitting there. This paper, I'm actually of no clue where I got this paper. It was just something in my stash, and I'm like, someday I'll use this. And I thought it was perfect because I felt like it looked like wind and snow and kind of like a blizzard. And not that I have any idea what that really looks like because I live in California and I've never been in a wind or storm, but from what I can see on, um, you know, TV, that's what it looks like. So basically, so again, I'm kind of using the same pattern of like covering up the pocket with something and then accenting with some kind of like ribbon or fabric and then a little bit of a saying or little bit of a phrase. So that's kind of the pattern that I've been using for all of these is like add a little piece of fabric, add a little piece of lace, and then put a little, some kind of little frieze on the front. And so what I wanted to do, I really liked that white little ribbon right there because I felt like it kind of had like a snowflake vibe to it, but I didn't like it directly on that piece of paper because I felt like it just blended in and you couldn't really see it. So I just grabbed another little piece of lace here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that down first and then put the little white piece of lace on top of it. And when I was gluing this down, I kind of put the glue too far up the top because I wanted it to hang off of the bottom just a little bit so that you could see it when the book was closed. So I just had to re-glue it there and kind of stick it where I wanted it to be. And then it worked. And you can kind of see it when you close it. And then again, I'm just going to put that little white piece of lace down there. And then I put it on the wrong side and I'm like, oh crap. I switched it over. And then you'll see me for a second here. I'm going to try to find that little piece of paper that had the I Love Winter on it. Completely lost it in this mess because I have a white table and it was white and I couldn't find it. So that little thing right there, the one that I'm using that says, it says, Winter, I love you. That's what it says. That is actually part of a sticker collection, like a 12 by 12 sticker page. And it is actually the name of the sticker collection. So I actually cut that from the little part, the little strip at the top where it has the name of the title of the collection. And I used that little piece as a sticker. So I thought that was pretty clever of me to use that component. All right, so this one is the Abide collection. And this one's kind of the one that's a succulent theme. I don't know why I say kind of. It is succulent theme. And I loved this little journaling card that says this is what it's all about because that's kind of what I use the library cards for, is to kind of give kind of like almost like an index of the book. And I got this little fabric. No, that's ribbon. I got this ribbon from my friend and I really wanted to use it because I thought it's succulents. It's really cute. So what I decided to do was I decided to cut a little place for me to weed the ribbon through the card. So I'm just marking where I need to cut. And I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and just cut slits in this card. And again, kind of using the same general design. I put something down and then I'm using like a little piece of ribbon or something to accent with. And then when I did that, I didn't feel like it was quite enough of the ribbon. I wanted a little bit more showing. So I cut another slit and I just let it weed through onto the other side. And then when you see, and then I kind of just picked some of the different designs that I wanted in the middle piece. So I kind of moved the ribbon so that it had the designs I wanted. And then you'll see I actually make the ribbon go all the way across the page. So I can have more, I wanted more, as much of that ribbon as I could get. And the other thing with this one too is I didn't want to cover up the stitching in the book. I really like the stitching in the front covers and in the back cover. So I didn't want to cover that up. That's why you see me putting it kind of high on the page so that if I had put it lower on the page, I would basically covered up all that stitching, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm just getting everything lined up, and then I'm going to go ahead and get it glued down. And I do take the pocket out just so I don't glue, because that thing had a little hole in it, and I think I over glued it. So I'm just going to take a little piece of tissue here and kind of try to get some of that glue off the top of that piece so it doesn't glue the pocket together, which I have done many times. So I'm learning from my mistakes. Okay, so then once I get that glued on, I kind of I lined it up a little bit higher than I should have. So I do need to trim that card that goes in there. I will need to trim that a little bit because I had it a little too high on the page. But I think that one turned out really cute. It's very simple, but I really like the design. I think it's cute. Okay, so I'm trimming that, and then there you go. All right, so that one's that one, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to my Grace one. I think this one is my favorite. I think. I don't know. I really like all of them, but I think this one's my favorite. So comment down below and let me know which one is yours. I think it's interesting how I basically use the same design, but they're all very different looking. And I will show you a up close for all of them here in a second. All right, so this one's kind of like fairy themed. Well, I don't really know if it is or not, but it kind of has like a fairy-esque-ness to it. I don't know. That's not even a word. But I'm definitely playing off the fairy component for this one and butterflies and stuff when I do it. And I found this journal card that says the story begins. And I think it's a Tim Holtz journaling card. And I really liked just that little part that said the story begins, because it's kind of has a fairy tale theme to it as well. So I thought story, I think that would be cute to put in there. So again, I kind of just added that piece, and then I put a little saying phrase on there, but then I didn't have the fabric piece. So I was like, oh, I want to include some sort of like fabric piece. So I pulled this doily from my stash, and I just put that on top of there, and I'm gonna that's how it's basically gonna look. I'm just gonna mess with it for 15 minutes with placement, and then finally glue it down. So you'll just have to bear with me while I fuss with this. And then and then I decided I'll do that too. So you'll see that in a second here. So I'm just going to use my glue stick to glue down the doily. And then I'm going to use Fabri-Tac to glue down the little fairy that's sitting there. That fairy, I got from a little pack, like a little pack of like ephemera that I think I got at Tuesday morning. It had a bunch of like little pieces of like stories, and I don't know. So it's something I just had in my stash. All right, so again, messing with the placement. And then, okay, now I'm going to put that there because I didn't want to cut the doily. I wanted it to just stick out of the outside of the pocket just a little bit. So when you close the book, it kind of sticks out a little bit. Okay, so there I'm using Fabri-Tac to get that glued down. So I figured the Fabri-Tac would kind of seep into the pocket and kind of adhere everything down, and it looks like it's working pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, and then I'm going to put my little story begins there, and then I decided that I just wanted to enhance that little story begins, and I couldn't figure out if I wanted the little ribbon on top or the bottom. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should just do it on both. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to run a bead of glue on the top, and then put that ribbon there at the top. And then I'm going to run a bead of glue at the bottom and put the ribbon at the bottom. I don't know if it added that much difference, but whatever, it's done at this point. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and stick that into the book. Yeah, I don't know. I think this might be my favorite, but I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like the home one too, but I don't know. You tell me which one's your favorite. I'm going to go ahead and show you all of them right now so you can see a comparison. So let's see. We're going to show the home one. That one's pretty cute. Kind of like that one. And then this is the So Crafty. And then the cozy one, Get Cozy. And then the Abide and the Grace. All right, so that was everything that I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Stick around for 4 more days of journaling videos. Hope you guys enjoy. See you next time.